Well, thank you, Senator Wicker. And next, I'd like to introduce our last panel, which is going to move the needle on seafood consumption. And really, the theme is it takes a village. It takes all of us in this room to make it happen. This session is titled The Last Mile of Sustainable Seafood Movement and how we're going to reach consumers, educate them, and really reach out to all the right people and audiences. In this session is Ms. Andrea Albersheim. She's the Director of Communications for Seafood Nutrition Partnership. Ms. Jacqueline Claudia, the CEO of Love the Wild. Ms. Kim Thompson, she is a Program Manager for Seafood for the Future at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California. And last but not least, the person that's going to close out our sessions this morning before we go to our breakout sessions is Mr. Barton Seaver. He was just here. And he will share with us, he is the founder, he's many things, but he's going to share with us, he's the founder and CEO, Chief Education Officer for the Coastal Culinary Academy. So first up is Ms. Andrea Albersheim.
Wow, what amazing information we've gotten today. And now this panel hopefully will help figure out how we can tell that to people in a meaningful way. People in Ohio just don't know what linoleic acid is. They don't know what multitrophic systems are, and I know because I'm from Ohio. And I still don't know what multitrophic systems are. And so I want to talk to you today about how Seafood Nutrition Partnership is really working with all of you and so many others about how to get this invaluable health and sustainability information out to consumers. We are doing, and we are doing this in many different ways, and you'll see kind of the different channels as the different panelists speak, how to reach consumers in different categories. We're focusing today on health and nutrition influencers in my speech presentation. Currently, 1 in 10 Americans eat seafood twice per week. I think a couple of the presenters this morning touched on this. And that's in 2015. So hopefully we've moved the needle a little tiny bit since then. And that's coming from NHANES data. Hopefully, and our vision for S&P is by 2020 to have 1 in 5 Americans eating seafood twice a week. And so with this, we have the pledge to take the Seafood 2X WK pledge, all of which you guys are taking, and as you head out to your survey, or to the reception, the survey card. And so hopefully you can help share that message with us. One way that one of our many partners that are doing that, this is an Instagram post from Love the Wild, and they tag us with Seafood 2XWK, as do many of you in our room, and we just are really appreciative of how it really is a village that shares this. What we do, it takes a village. And so really, and Linda said this earlier today, our mission is S&P is a charitable nonprofit inspiring a healthier America by empowering seafood consumption through partnerships and collaborations. And there's a big reason why that last line in bold is part of our mission. Like, we cannot do this alone, and it really is all of us that need to kind of work together across nutrition, across sustainability, across wild and aquaculture, really come together to educate. And so we have this broad general mission to encourage Americans to eat more seafood for better health and reduce chronic disease risks. And we're doing that through these communication outreach. And today, the health and nutrition influencers are really where I spend most of my time throughout the day. So one way that we work with our village is through some amazing spokespeople like Barton Seaver here, who does monthly videos for us. He does monthly blog posts, has a column each month in Cooking Light, just making it easy and simple for Americans to understand how to cook seafood. It's not, here's a tilapia recipe today. It's, here's how you broil fish in your toaster oven. And it's really making it approachable, and that's really part of our message. And he's really part of our village of people that includes chefs. We have a team of chef ambassadors. We have school food service ambassadors. We work with people across the board to really help share that message. All my notes went away, so that's not good. But reaching the consumer. To encourage Americans to eat seafood, we really need to utilize trusted resources to share the message and be their minds at point of purchase. And so what I mean by these two things are really the two audiences that we work with the most, and that is dietitians and retailers. And so why dietitians? They really are everywhere, and most people think of them in like a clinical setting in a hospital, but really they are everywhere food is, and everywhere people are asking questions about food. They work in retail food service, they're in schools, they work in healthcare, so they are in those hospitals, but really informing what people are eating in those hospitals. They're in sports, workplace wellness, so much. And they need to be all-around experts. Some of them are diabetes coaches, but really they need to know about all different food groups, and they just don't have the bandwidth to do that and to really do that successfully. And that's where we come in to help. We are this independent, third-party nonprofit really based in science, and with our team of scientific and nutrition advisors really leading to how we can supply them with information. We have talking points and toolkits that help them be a better resource and know what the latest science is. And they're really hungry for information. It's amazing. We sent out a toolkit 3 years ago, or 4 years ago now, that you see things pull out of there still today. You'll see a blog post that quotes those things, and you're like, you say that in a drawer from 4 years ago? So it's really helpful to really spread that message. Here's one example. This is a conference that's held every year. It's a very small group. It's 30 dietitians, and it's an invite-only group, and you have to be invited to speak. You can't just be a sponsor. We were invited along with DSM and GoEd, who are in this room, to answer their questions. They said that they had questions about seafood and omega-3s, and specifically about brain health. And so we were asked to come bring speakers. We brought Dr. Brenna and John Paul San Giovanni to present to them. And this is 30, it was 32 ultimately, people, and somehow, amazingly, we've already had, in the past few months, 292 million impressions that have come out of that. And so impressions to this audience, I'm not sure how many people in marketing really understand what that means, but these are people who are on the Today Show or on Dr. Oz. They have columns in Men's Health magazine, and they are going back from this conference and talking about the importance of omega-3s and brain health. And so this audience, and not just these dietitians, but dietitians overall, are just such an important kind of middleman, I guess, in terms of interpreting this information for us, because they really are in all aspects. One example from that, one of the people in the audience there was Leslie Bonchi, who is the team dietitian for the Kansas City Chiefs. She came back, I'm assuming probably with the help of Carrie over here from DSM, and did omega-3 testing for all the players, and is going to be tracking that over time. And it's prompted to add fish every single day to their team training menu, and it's really going over very well, very popular. They love salmon, so that's fantastic. And this is in Kansas. So I think we have to think beyond just, oh, they're nutrition experts, but really that they're in all these aspects of our world. These are other examples that's come back from that conference. Another quick example, we went down, our communications manager, Rebecca Knoll, went down to Birmingham a few months ago, where the Time Inc. has their test kitchen, and brought with her one of the RDs that happened to be at that Food Fluence conference, presented to the team of editors some of the latest science, did a little cooking demo, and one of the things that resulted from that was the August Fishu. Cooking Light did an entire magazine, the entire month was dedicated to seafood. And we got things like this, which is how to eat more omega-3 fats. And really being able to reach wide audiences with our messaging is through dietitians, and really understanding that they are a trusted resource is really important. Throughout the year, we also do other things. Lower left corner is Dr. Chris Etherton speaking at one of our events last year to dietitians at their annual conference. And then on the right, you'll see our new toolkit that we went out with this year. We mailed these in March for National Nutrition Month to 350 prominent dietitians. In the hopes, along with the cedar plank, with the hopes that they would then cook and post photos all over social media, which some of them did here, and then digitally sent it out to well over 2,000 others. So really trying to get really simple messages out. This is all on our website for anybody to utilize, but there's one-pagers on tips on how to buy seafood, how to cook seafood, what questions to ask at the counter, how to give a tour. So these are a lot of people that work in the retail sector, how to walk people through the grocery store and what to say to them. And then the latest thing that launched last week is our new Fish Fanatics program, which is for just for dietitians, RDs. And it's really getting them to be brand ambassadors for us. They have large audiences and they have platforms where they can share information. And so this is us giving them challenges. We're not paying them. We're saying, thank you for all you do. We'll provide you resources. We'll provide you some fun challenges. And if you participate, you can be in a drawing for an Instapot. Something fun and small. So these are within just the past couple days on Instagram and Twitter of them sharing how they do seafood twice a week. We have a current challenge going on. It's National Breakfast Month, if anybody isn't aware of that. How do you incorporate seafood into breakfast? It's one of the growing trends of getting seafood throughout the day, but really we see a lot from Data Essentials. There's a big report that shows restaurants are incorporating more seafood on their breakfast menus. So how do we do that at home? So it's been kind of a fun challenge that they've really gotten into. And so nutrition's impact also goes to the retail sector. Almost every grocery store has dietitians on staff now, whether it's at the retail level, like individual stores, or at the corporate level that's impacting where products are placed on shelves, what the promotions are. And so this is a huge audience that I've really worked with a lot. And understanding what impact that they make. They can control what's on the end cap and what's in the circular. And so there's a lot of important information happening at point of purchase. Kim Thompson, who's coming up soon, we brought with us to talk to them at their conference, their dietetics conference for retailers. On what fish farming means, and it was so important to them to understand how to define sustainable seafood to their consumers. People are going into the grocery store asking, or saying, I want sustainable seafood. What does that mean? How do I get it? And we're hopefully equipping them with good answers. We're also doing a big webinar for we're doing two different webinars in October for National Seafood Month that address the sustainable seafood with different dietetics groups. And Linda presented in July to a different group of dietitians on, again, what sustainable seafood means. And I think that getting out in front of these people to help them help their clients has been something that's really been important. And at point of purchase, so many of your decisions are made at the store. It's impulsive. You say, oh, that looks beautiful. Oh, that doesn't look so fresh. Somebody told me this is healthy. Should I buy it? Like, not knowing. There are so many grocery stores that are putting dietitians right in the middle of the store. This is from ShopRite, which is along the East Coast. Your Kroger's and Publix have dietitians in every store walking the aisles, helping you answer questions. And so if we can provide them resources to then hand out or just talking points so that they can answer the questions effectively, we've done our jobs in terms of hopefully getting people to make the right choice when they're making choices. And so we're also trying to tag team this retail promotions. Going back to this is a collaborative approach. One way we're doing that is working with our CPG donors. You'll see an example on the right, Gorton's. We did a kind of a three-piece health-focused in-store promotion with them with ShopRite. And so they put their SKUs on sale for a week. We gave our talking points in our toolkit to the dietitians who then did in-store demos. And then really put out a lot of social media around the health benefits of their various pieces. And we saw a big uptick in a lot of interest in these SKUs because we're talking about the health benefits at point of purchase. And then the other piece of that tag teaming, and Rick from FMI was here but just had to leave, but we're working with the Food Marketing Institute and really trying to bring together people in their own stores. This seafood sales team, seafood buyers are on the road all the time. They are not really in their corporate office. They're out making sure that they are sourcing the most amazing sustainable seafood, but they aren't working with their marketing teams. A lot of them aren't even aware that they have retail dietitians in their stores. So we're facilitating bringing those people within their own same company together to talk. And so one example of that, we're working closely with Hy-Vee, which is kind of all in that Midwest, Kansas, Iowa area, where they have a wonderful sustainability program in place. We brought their marketing team together to talk about how we can put that, let people know on social, on the web, and brought their RDs on board. They have RDs in all 185 of their stores. And so how can we let people know? And so we're doing a monthly program, monthly dietitians pick that'll be throughout the store every month for the next year, highlighting a different species, why it's healthy, why it's sustainable, and really hopefully trying to educate people with fun, easy, simple recipes. And so trying to bring these people together within their own companies is important as well. And that's one example of one of our recipes that we created on Hy-Vee's website that is going to be the December promotion. So we're a little bit ahead right now. And so talking about simple one-pot dishes for December. And just briefly to end, seafood's trending. Like I mentioned, restaurant menus we're seeing a lot more of it, especially at breakfast. This is that same Date Essentials report. They asked people why they choose seafood, and 89% said it tastes great, and 88% said it's healthy. So whether health makes an impact at the end of the day in terms of consumer decisions, obviously people are eating a lot of French fries. They are saying that they understand and know that it's healthy. And we just have some resources quickly to share. This is we have omega-3 chart that shows kind of it helps consumers answer that question of what seafood should I pick in one way. Here we have a whole host of resources for school programs, feeding programs, with recipes and helping the school understand how to fit their seafood recipes into the USDA feeding program. And there was one more, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. Thank you.